Hello everyone. Hola a todos. Bienvenidos a un nuevo en vivo. Welcome to a new live stream. Today we are going to learn some interesting stuff about accent marks and about different types of words, especially when using accent marks. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream. And I want to give a big shout out to our members, to our Cafecito members, Raymond Sather, William Lopez, David Beaver, and KS. Thank you guys. The support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And we're live streaming, guys. And before I say something else, if you want to support this channel, you can also get a membership. You only need to click on the join button down below. So you can become a Cafecito member. And just essentially, you're just buying me coffee because I love coffee. And you're also supporting this channel. Thanks again to the Cafecito members. Okay, so I see some people on the live chat. María Grazia Boccolini. Hola, profesora, ¿qué tal? Saludos a todos desde Italia. Welcome, María. Bienvenida. KS, feliz día de acción de gracias. Su transmisión en vivo son muy impactantes. Su transmisión en vivos son muy impactantes. Thank you, KS, and welcome as well. So, okay, yeah, it's true. Like, I think tomorrow is Thanksgiving Day. Yeah. Well, feliz día de acción de gracias a ti también, KS. Okay, so let's talk about accent marks, okay? Do you know what they are? Essentially, it's only one thing, only one accent mark. We're going to talk about tilde or acento. That's the name of the Spanish accent mark. La tilde or el acento. Okay? So we'll talk about palabras agudas, graves, esdrújulas, and sobreesdrújulas. So that's quite interesting. You need to know this in order to be able to use accent marks in Spanish, okay? Because we're talking about intonation. We're talking about some stress that happens to words in Spanish. So palabras means words, okay? Las palabras, the words. And there are different types of words in Spanish, of course. We have agudas. We have graves or llanas, graves. Esdrújulas, esdrújulas. And can you say this one? Sobreesdrújulas. And as I said before, there are different words that have certain strong or high intonation in Spanish, or also it can be some sort of stress on specific syllables, okay? Sometimes you have to use something called tilde or acento. And the tilde, la tilde or el acento, helps you know where the word stress falls on, okay? So in English, there's no accent marks. In Spanish, there are accent marks. You use a lot of accent marks. And sometimes you don't use them, but you have to learn the pronunciation, the intonation, because every word has a different intonation, okay? So we'll talk about that in a few more seconds. So for now, just remember, there are words called agudas, graves, esdrújulas, sobreesdrújulas, okay? So also, the accent mark is called tilde, la tilde, or el acento. Okay, so You know what syllables are, right? This is something really easy. What's a syllable? Well, according to Google, a syllable is a unit of pronunciation having one vowel sound, with or without surrounding consonants, forming the whole or a part of a word. For example, there are 2 syllables in water, okay? Water. And there are 3 syllables in inferno. Inferno, okay? So we're talking about the group of letters when you are saying the word. Inferno. 3 syllables. Okay. Now let's talk about palabras graves, okay? And you might have to rewatch this lesson because we're gonna say a lot. There's a lot of information. So feel free to rewatch this video as many times as you want, because it's a lot. It's a lot. And also please use the live chat if you have any questions. So palabras agudas. So those are the first ones. Palabras agudas. So what are they? Palabras agudas are words, or they are words that are stressed on the last syllable, okay? So we have a certain intonation. You emphasize more the last syllable, okay? So this is very important to know, because if you want to sound natural in Spanish, you need to know the correct intonation, the correct stressed syllables. So yes, that's very important. Now, let's see some examples of palabras agudas. The first one is pared. Pared. Red, this part, the last syllable, has a stressed syllable. Okay, so it's a stressed syllable. Pared. Pared. It's not pared, it's pared. Pared. Okay, so you have certain punch on the last syllable. That means wall. Okay, pared, pared, wall. Rondell Collins, hello. Hola, hola, Rondell. Welcome. Okay. Now, the next example, amar. Amar. Okay? It's not amar, it's amar. Okay? So we can feel the stress here. That's the stressed syllable. Amar. And that means to love. Okay? That's a verb. Amar. To love. The next example is sutil. Sutil. Once again, we can hear some stress on the last syllable. Sutil. Sutil. It's not sutil, it's sutil. Sutil. And that means subtle. Okay? The next word is azul. 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 That means blue. Once again, we see the stressed syllable is the last one. So remember, palabras agudas are words that are stressed on the last syllable, the last one. Okay, so that's important to remember. Now, these words have a tilde. Palabras agudas have a tilde when they end in a vowel, any vowel, a, e, I, o, u. Okay, any of the five vowels, or if the word ends in N or S. Okay? So vowel, N or S. Sometimes those palabras agudas don't have any accent mark like the ones up here. Okay? But we need to understand that they are palabras agudas because there's some stress on the last syllable. So the intonation is strong. There's a punch when saying the last syllable. Pared, amar, sutil, azul. Okay? Now, you might need to use accent marks, like I said a few seconds ago, especially if they end in vowel, in any vowel, in the letter N or the letter S. For example, estrés, estrés. And we can see that we need an accent mark because the word ends in S and there's some stress on the last syllable, okay? Estrés. That means stress. The next one is canción. Canción. Well, technically, that is also like the last syllable, ción. But essentially you're saying canción, okay? And that means song. And you can see that this word ends in N, okay? The next one is subió. Subió. And that means to somebody went up, somewhere up. And the last one, colibrí. Essentially, this is the last syllable. Sorry about that. And I believe this too, this is the last syllable, subió. Colibrí. Okay? So we have an accent mark because colibrí ends in I. Okay? So that's why we have an accent mark. Also, subió ends in a vowel, so that's why we need the accent mark there. Canción also ends in N, and we need an accent mark. Estrés, that means stress, and it also needs an accent mark because it ends in S, okay? So sometimes palabras agudas will have accent marks. Sometimes they don't need accent marks. You only need to pay attention to the pronunciation, how, like the intonation of the pronunciation of each word, you know? So that way you can identify if the word needs an accent mark or if it doesn't, or where the stress is on what syllable, right? So it's very important to remember that. I know it's complicated, but if you can hear people speaking in Spanish, you will get used to all that, all the intonation and all the stressed words and syllables and whatnot. Okay, so there are some exceptions, as in everything. So if the word ends in S, but it has a consonant before it, then it doesn't need an accent mark, okay? For example, you can see right here, really small, robots. That's how you say it in Spanish, robots. So that's a palabra aguda, and it doesn't need an accent mark because even though it ends in S, you can see that before the letter S, there's the letter T. So if you have a consonant before the letter S, you don't need the accent mark. I know, I know it's complicated, but it's not that bad. Robots, that means robots, okay? They also do not have an accent mark when they end in Y. For example, virrey. and that means viceroy. So virrey. Rey has the stress. Rey, virrey. It's not virrey, it's virrey. Okay, so quite interesting. That's only one type. Palabras agudas, okay? Once again, they are words that are stressed on the last syllable. Now we have palabras graves. Palabras graves. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have palabras graves, or they're also called llanas. Palabras graves or llanas. Okay, so what are these ones about? What are we talking about here? Do you know? Well, you can see all the info there. Okay, so when we're talking about palabras graves, we're talking about words that are stressed on the penultimate or second to last syllable. Okay, so now we're not talking about the last syllable, we're talking about the one before the last syllable, second to last syllable. So that's important to remember, this part. And if a word ends in a vowel, S or N, and doesn't have a tilde anywhere, then it's a palabra grave. Okay, so once again, these words might have an accent mark, maybe not. Okay, so maybe you'll see one, maybe you won't. And yeah, I know it gets confusing, but let's just learn the pronunciation and the right intonation when saying the following words. Computadora. Computadora. Okay? Computadora. Okay. So we see that we're talking about, or we have here the stress on the second to last syllable. It's not the last one, it's the one before that one. Computadora. We're not saying computadora. We're saying computadora. Computadora. And that means computer, of course. The next one is ave. A-B. A-B. Ave. And that means bird. Okay, we can see the stress here. Rojo. 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 That means, it doesn't mean subtle. Sorry, it means red. Rojo. Red. Londres. 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 And that means London. Once again, we can see the stress on this syllable. And they have an accent mark. These words have an accent mark when on the second to last syllable, when again, they end in any consonant other than S or N. Okay, so if we have a different consonant other than S or N, then it will have an accent mark. Okay, so we don't have an S or N letter here, nor here, nor here. Well, we have an S, but that's an exception. I'll tell you about that in a sec. And then we have M here. So those are different letters. They're not N or S, except this one, but I'll tell you in a bit about that one. Okay, so let's read all the pronunciation, or let's just practice the pronunciation here. Árbol, árbol. And that doesn't mean stress, man. That means tree, okay? Árbol, árbol. And we have an accent mark because we have the stress on the second to last syllable, and the word ends in L. And that's why we need the accent mark. Árbol. Árbol. The next one, guys, is ángel. 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 That means angel. Ángel. And that's why we need an accent mark as well. Same as the previous one. The word ends in L, and also, well, we have the stress on that syllable. The next one is biceps. Biceps. And once again, biceps. In this situation, well, there's an exception for that. And even though it ends in S, if any word ends in PS or CS, then that's an exception. And if the stress is on the second to last syllable, then it needs an accent mark. Biceps. Biceps. Okay. And the last one here, album. 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 And that means album. Okay. So yeah, that's why we need an accent mark there. We have the stress on the second to last syllable, and the word ends in M. That's why we need the accent mark. Okay. What do you think about all of this? A nice dog one says, Londres es mi ciudad. Yeah, well, that's pretty cool. Londres. Now you know, well, you probably knew already how to say it in Spanish. But yeah, we're just talking about palabras graves. And remember, there's an exception if the word ends in S, but it has a consonant before, like PS or CS, then it needs an accent mark, just like here, the one here, biceps. And we have the PS, the two consonants, and that's why we need the accent mark. Okay. Let's talk about palabras esdrújulas. Esdrújulas. I think esdrújulas, that's an esdrújula word as well, because we have an accent mark. We have the intonation right over here. You'll see. Okay, so palabras esdrújulas. What are they about? They are words that are stressed on the antepenultimate, third to last syllable. Okay, so now we're not talking second to last syllables. We're talking about third to last syllable, the one before the second to last. Man, we're counting backwards. So that's the last syllable, then the second to last, and then the third to last. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so electrónico. And we have the stressed syllable here. Therefore, this one is a palabra esdrújula. Okay, electrónico. And that means electronic. Okay, so we can see that all the examples have accent marks. They usually, all the palabras esdrújulas will have an accent mark. Okay, so when talking about palabras agudas, the first type, and the second one, palabras graves or palabras llanas, they don't always have accent marks. Sometimes they do, according to the rules. Of course, we need to follow the rules, the grammatical rules, but palabras esdrújulas will always have an accent mark. Okay, so they're pretty easy to identify, and now you know that they will likely need an accent mark when you're not talking about them, when typing the word on the keyboard, or when you need to write them down. You need to know, or you now know that they're gonna need an accent mark. Okay, so that's important to remember. Electrónico, electronic. Sábado, 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 Saturday. Sábado, sábado. Océano, océano. That means ocean. Héroe, héroe. Hero, okay? Célula, célula. Cell. Oxígeno, oxígeno. It's not Saturday, sorry. Oh my God. Oxygen? I think that's the spelling. Yeah, right? Yeah, I think so. Sorry about that. And oh my God. Cálido can be warm, or, you know, like a warm day. Oxígeno, oxygen. Cálido, some warm day when talking about days. And broccoli. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Broccoli. I think that's the correct spelling. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what happened to me here. I probably just forgot to change the translation. Sorry. Okay. So, oxígeno, oxygen. Cálido, cálido, warm. And broccoli, broccoli, broccoli. And now we know, or now we can see that the stress is on the third to last syllable. Okay. Célula. Okay. We can see all of that here, and all of the words have an accent mark. Okay. So you kind of need to pay attention to the syllables. You know, where's the stress, right? Where is it? Is it on the third to last syllable, second to last syllable? So we need to pay attention to that in order to pronounce the word correctly. And also, if you want to have a perfect grammar, you need to know all of this, okay? And you can learn how to use the accent marks when talking about, or when having different types of words. Palabras agudas, palabras graves, palabras esdrújulas, okay? And I was saying that esdrújula, the word esdrújulas, is a esdrújula word because we have this syllable is the third to last one. So ESDRÚJULAS. So this is the last one, then this is the second, and this is the third one. So yeah, it's crazy. Okay, guys. Well, sorry about the wrong translation, but let's see. Hopefully the next one is fine. It's just so much information, guys, and I was working on this quite fast. But yeah, the last type of words that we're going to talk about today is the palabras sobreesdrújulas. So that's a very, very long word, sobreesdrújulas. And well, usually when you're talking about this type of words, you will see long, very long words, okay? So keep an eye on it. No, just pay attention. Sorry. I just need some water. 1 second. Okay. So, palabras sobreesdrújulas. They are words that are stressed on the fourth to last, fifth to last, or sixth to last syllable. So now we're talking about anything after third to last. We're talking about fourth to last, fifth to last, or sixth to last syllables. So right almost at the beginning of the word, okay? Or if you have a very long word, then it's in the middle somewhere there. So yeah, just keep why am I saying keep an eye on that? But no, just pay attention to that. Oh boy. Okay. So they also always have an accent mark as well. Just like palabras esdrújulas, they will always have an accent mark, and usually they are all those words are conjugated verbs, you know, and also they include two pronouns. Okay, two different pronouns. And yes, it's just a long word that is pretty much a verb, conjugated verb, plus two pronouns. Okay, so for example, demuéstramelo, demuéstramelo. So that's how you pronounce that word. Demuéstramelo, demuéstramelo. Okay, and that means show me. Okay, whatever that person needs to show you. Demuéstramelo, show me. Okay, and the next one is, well, you can see the stress here, of course, es, and we have an accent mark on top of the letter E or the letter E. Demuéstramelo. Okay, show me. The next one is cómpramelo, cómpramelo. Okay, so we see, or we can hear some punch there. Cómpramelo. Okay, some stress. Cómpramelo, buy it for me. Okay, so that's what it means. It's funny that one word can mean pretty much a phrase, but yeah, that's because we have a pronoun here. Me is a pronoun, and this one as well. Lo, me, lo. So you're pretty much using like command. Demuestra, melo. Compra, melo. Okay? So that's why we are talking about two different pronouns at the end. So, cómpramelo. We can see the stress on the first, on the 1, 2, 3, fourth to last syllable right here. This one is 1, 2, 3, fourth to last as well. And the next one here is pretty much the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Devuélvemelo. Devuélvemelo. Okay. Devuélvemelo. Devuélvemelo. Yeah. They're hard to pronounce. I know. That means give it back. Okay. Give it back. Whatever it is. Devuélvemelo. And yeah, we can see the stress right there. Those three words, demuéstramelo, cómpramelo, devuélvemelo, those are conjugated verbs plus two pronouns. The next row, we can see words ending in mente, but in this situation, words that end in mente, not always need an accent mark, okay? But if we're talking about verbs and pronouns, yes, they need the accent mark. So let's see. Prácticamente. That means practically. And we can see the stress here. Prácticamente. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Well, first, second, third, fourth, fifth to last. Okay, so wow. Yes. And well, it has an accent mark. Of course, it needs that there. But as I said before, sometimes the mente ending words will not have an accent mark. Sometimes they will. So keep that in mind. Okay. Rápidamente. Rápidamente. That means quickly. We can see the stress here. Rápidamente. Okay, quickly. And the last one, guys, the last word is lamentablemente. 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 And that means unfortunately. Okay? Lamentablemente. We see the stress here. Super stressed syllable. And this was 1, 2, 3, fourth to last. First, second, third, fourth to last. Okay, so those are palabras sobreesdrújulas, guys. And those were the last ones. That's how the accent marks work in Spanish, based on those words, agudas, graves, or llanas, esdrújulas, sobreesdrújulas. And it's all about the intonation. It's all about stressed syllables. And if you master this, guys, you're gonna sound so natural in Spanish. And if you are a perfectionist, you need to know this, you know. Even like if sometimes you miss an accent mark or anything like that, people will understand what you're saying. But as I said before, if you want good grammar, then you need to know about this and practice and just pronounce the word, write the word, and all of that. So that's gonna help you identify all these different words. Yeah, it's very important. Practice, practice, practice. Okay, guys, that's it. Do you have any question about this? Rondell Collins, great explanation. Thank you, Rondell. That's nice of you. Thank you so much for your nice comment. And yes, guys, this can be a lot, I know. And if you have any questions, please just let me know. If you missed this live stream, you can also leave your questions down below in the comment section down below. Nice Dog 1 says, thanks. That's a lot of interesting information. I will try to join next week, but it depends on whether I can stay awake with work the next day. Oh, well, thank you, Nice Dog 1. It's all good. If you have things to do, that's okay. But yeah, if you can tune in next week, that's great as well. Guys, remember that I live stream every Tuesday at 7-ish, 7:30, 7:45 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to get notified, if you want to get notified whenever I live stream on Tuesday, just click on that bell notification thingy, and you're gonna get notified every time I live stream. You can also subscribe to this channel if you like what I do. Wow, Nice Dog 1:25 a.m. here. Wow, that's very late. I appreciate you being here, Nice Dog 1. I know that sounds pretty late. I know. I wish I could just choose the right time for everyone, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try to do this a little earlier than 7:45. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Just activate that notification bell because it's gonna let you know whenever I live stream. Que yes, tildes, me gusta este tema que aprecio profundamente. Thank you, KS. Yes, Nice Dog. It is. Nice Dog 1. It is. I know. Sorry about that. And okay, well, that's it. Thank you again for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for staying up until the last thing that we talked about right now, or we're talking about right now. And remember, I'm on Discord. You can talk to different people there who are learning Spanish as well. It's basically a Spanish community. It's free. You can join whenever you want. The link is in the video description down below. So if you want to talk to me and other people who are learning Spanish, you can do that. You don't have to wait for me to live stream to talk to me or ask questions about Spanish. So you can actually just join Discord if you want, or server on Discord. The link is in the video description down below. Thank you again. Well, take care of yourself. Be safe. And I'll see you next time. Adios. Bye-bye.